Hello, everybody, and welcome to Becoming a Published Author. So, if you don't know me, my name is Dr. Vidhya Kumaranayakam. I am a doctor, a medical doctor. I'm also a leadership coach, and I'm here to share with you how I became a #1 best-selling author. I'm a multi-published author, and also how to do this without the overwhelm. Okay, so I am a busy doctor and coach. I'm also a mum of two gorgeous little monkeys, aged 6 and 8. And actually, when I wrote my first book, it was on my first maternity leave for the first one, and I published my books when I was on the maternity leave with the second one. And I'm also married to my divine soulmate too. So I want you to come to this short session just to tell you a little bit more about how I got to that point. I'm also a TED speaker and I'm featured as well. And I just mentioned those things just to know that you're in the right place. And if you're really called to share your story, if you've been through something in particular, something I'm very proud of, and when I founded my company, Athena Publishing House Limited, it was very much born out of the fact that I had not really much of a story, but more habits that I had developed for myself, as well as my own message and my own journey that I wanted to share with the world. I love all the big publishing giants, but I really wanted to self-publish. I really wanted to just get my work out there, right? And I didn't want to have any obstacles. I didn't want it to take a very long time. And I just really wanted to share my story, share my knowledge, my divine knowledge, not just expert knowledge, but you can do that as well, and your message. So if you are curious also about becoming a published author, I'm going to show you how I did that. I literally wrote and published my book within a couple of days, within a week. You don't have to do it in that period of time. You can take longer if you want. Okay, there's no rush. But at the same time, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed at the idea of writing a book, publishing or doing it wrong, or I'm writing a book and it's going to take me a decade. No, you can just bish bash bosh get it done. I literally wrote my book on the note section of my phone with one hand whilst I was breastfeeding my little one, because sometimes it would just take hours and hours. And I really personally, I made the choice to demand breastfeed, but it was very sometimes just taking hours and skin to skin and all of that. And I really enjoyed it, but I also recognized that I was really evolving as a person. I wanted, to be honest, really wanted to capture it more for myself. I'd always wanted to write a book. And I didn't want to be, when I'm on my deathbed, when I'm in, my 120 plus on my deathbed, I didn't want to feel like, oh, I had all these dreams and I never did it. I didn't want that to go with me. So I really thought, no, do you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to focus on perfection. And I would urge you to do that as long as it is 60%, 70%, you feel like it's there, to get it out there into the world. The beauty with publishing is when you own it, is that you can always do another edition if you want to, right? So I'm not saying you just put out anything, but perfection is the enemy here. Okay, so this is not about hustle. This is not about pressure. It's just about getting it out there. So as I said, I literally wrote it on my phone, on my notes section of my phone, and I just wrote, right? And then obviously other times I would try and edit it, but I really want you to focus on clarity, and we're going to talk about credibility and legacy as well. So why does publishing matter? So publishing a book is not just about publishing a book and look at me, I'm a published author. That's all very nice, but it can really help you to be taken seriously. It can help you to take yourself seriously, right? It really is nice, even for me as a mom now, to show my book to my kids, and really more to show them what's possible. Actually, literally last night, I'm really grateful and proud to say that my boys at the age of 6 and 8 just published their first book. They wrote it together. It's called The Dino Party. It's about dinosaurs, obviously. And they illustrated it themselves and they wrote it themselves. And we published it through my company. And so that will be available on the shelves very soon. And that's, I'm grateful that they're very much of this mindset of like, yeah, like I can do it. If mom can do it, we can do it. I can do it too. And that I love how they talk about how, yeah, this is our first book. right? It's not even sort of like, I'm going to publish a book one day. This is my first book of many. So this is going to be the first book of a series of books about dinosaurs. They're also making an app about animals, but more on online courses and digital products in another webinar. So DM me if you want to know about that. But yeah, I'm all about, this is an incredible legacy that you can pass on as well. But you have to go first, right? Self-leadership. So this is also about owning your voice, turning your lived experience into your own leadership, into your own methodology that you can describe in your book. You can also use your book to generate leads for your business, potential clients, potential customers, or patients, service users. So they get a little flavor of you. But equally, you can use your book. Your book itself can be your medicine. It can be your healing tool in itself. For me, when I've had very challenging times, reading sometimes in the middle of the night gave me great solace, and I now want to return that favor as I continue on my journey as well. And I feel like this is, really was a turning point for me. Okay, so for me, writing the book was very much about, I no longer shrink. I'm no longer shrinking. I shine my light, and this is me actually watering that seed and actually taking action. I'm no longer here to over-explain. I'm not here to overthink. I'm here to really speak from grounded inner leadership, leading myself and inner authority. You don't need to be Forbes featured or TED speaker or doctor or have some special method or any of that to write a book. Okay, it could be, and actually I would urge you, if there have been very challenging, painful times, you don't actually have to write about the story if you don't, and equally you can if you want to. It is all your choice. Okay, there's nothing off the books here. And you can it's very healing in itself to have it out there. And the beauty with self-publishing is you get to curate what that looks like, what you want to include, what you don't want to include, and all of that as well. Now, you do not need to be a professional writer. You don't even need to write English. So, I'm not saying you just write the whole thing with ChatGPT. There is a way to do that. And there is something called ghost writing, which is whereby somebody else can write the book for you and it's under your name. There are many people, for whatever reason, don't want to have work written under their own name, or they do this as a living, called a ghostwriter. Many of the top celebrities in the world have actually not written their book, or they have obviously given their intel, they've given their information, and then somebody has sort of put it together. So there are lots of different ways of doing this, but for this purposes of this webinar and my work with you is that you will be writing your book, and I'll be there to guide you along. Of course, there are tools to help you as well, but English is not a barrier to that. And the beauty about publishing with Amazon, one of the ways of publishing is through Amazon, is that you can actually have your book published worldwide, and they take the brunt of that in terms of printing on demand, distributing it. So you don't have to worry about walking around with boxes of your books and you've got to order it in time and all of that. I do think there's lots of benefits to that as well if you're solely being in charge of distribution as well. But I think that this is a great way to just get in there, get your work out there. I think that as light workers, healers, professionals, people helping people, service leaders, conscious entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call it. But as we are rising up, we do need to put that into word, right? So that is using our throat chakra, of creating our podcasts, right? That's a whole different webinar. So let me know if you want to know about that too. But I have my podcast, Wealthy Warrior Leaders, into our own courses, our own digital products, and into our own books, right? So for me, the sword is your pen, right? In speaking against darkness, in rising up against it with courage, with protection, with conviction, and with prosperity as well, right? So this is a much bigger movement, okay? And that needs to be fueled sometimes with tangible. It is energy, but it needs to be fueled with something tangible, which is the books, the podcasts, the courses, the digital products, whatever your service is, whether it's a beautiful crafting service, whether you're a coach, you're a doctor as well who wants to do work online to help people, whether you are a network marketer, so many different ways, whether you are a content creator and you want to also now write books, digital products, as well as also having paperbacks. So the beauty with Amazon is that you can have your physical copies, so it's a physical product, and you can have digital product through Kindle. And you can also create audiobooks as well. And I really break all of this down in my program, How to Become a Published Author. It's only $111, 111. And you also get this included in my membership, which is called Legacy Leaders, in the annual membership, which is $333, where you also have one-to-one coaching day with me and all of the masterclasses available to you. There is also a monthly option, which is only $37 per month at the moment. That's 50% off. And with that, you still have access to all of the different classes that I also do on spirituality, on deep emotional healing, on wealth creation as a coach, as a service provider, as a professional, as well as a leader, okay, or a leader of yourself, of your family, of your service. So publishing a book, I feel, really helps to just anchor all of that in. Apart from it just being a business tool, I find it just very healing in itself. And I feel like for me, that identity of me at that time, that remembering, that milestone on that journey of self-realization, on the journey of the heroine's journey, right? It's not just the hero's journey, but the heroine's journey. That particular milestone, I feel like this book, because I wrote it in 2018, I feel like it really captured all of that energy, all of that juicy power that I was feeling, the awakening, that truly was the awakening of the warrior within me, okay? And the movement I now have, which is a Wealthy Warrior Leaders, it was born out of that, 3:33 a.m., breastfeeds and being there in the middle of the night, which I really enjoyed. I really felt like, wow, this actually feels really beautiful. I love this. And now I know that this is why they call it a divine time, okay? And I was having all these downloads. I didn't really realize that at that time. I was saying all these downloads. And now my whole coaching company has really evolved, from that moment. And I'm so grateful I wrote that book. From that, I've had clients who now pay me 10K in full. I have clients who pay in full for my membership. I have clients who've been with me for years and years, almost a decade, which I'm so grateful for. And I've said almost over 150 clients as well. So I say that to show you that you're in the right place. If that's something that feels interesting to you, if you feel called to kind of follow that path, you can see how this can lead on to many other things. But aside from all of that, just having the book itself for you, even just for you, for your higher self, for you right here, right now, for you just to know, for your lineage, right, for your ancestors to know that she did it, right, he did it, right, and you've captured where you are on this journey, okay, I think is so beautiful. And I think it's something that you'll always have forever. And I love that it's always living there, forever in the ether. Apart from Amazon, you can also obviously just create the book yourself. Okay, I give you templates as well. So you can just create the book yourself and you can have it using even like a Stan Store link. Stan Store is how you can generate like a sales page very quickly. Don't need a whole funnel. You can literally have like your Instagram page, for example, and in the link in bio, just have a link to the sales page for your book, right? So that's another way of doing it. It doesn't have to be through Amazon. But personally, I quite like Amazon. I have other books as well that I don't do through Amazon, but I quite like Amazon just because, for example, for my boys' books, it's literally we uploaded it last night. It's being approved by Amazon, and then we're going to give it as gifts to our family next week. So I feel like that's just such a beautiful opportunity, and I'm grateful that I don't have to worry about the distribution and printing and all of that side of things. I'm perfectly capable, or I can do that too. But I'm also working. I'm doing my clinics. It's a busy time of the year, helping patients doing clinics. they're also, we're getting the house ready, and we've got lots of other things that we're doing with the family. So I'm grateful to actually have that part taken care of. So the truth is that don't have this fear of visibility, or even just overthinking, or thinking your message is not enough, or who would want to know about that. If it helped you, the journey you've been on, whatever you've learned so far, right? And this doesn't have to be some factual evidence, right? This can just be your lived in wisdom. That is, imagine giving this gift of this divine knowledge to yourself like 5 years ago, or the beginning of this journey that you've been on, or you feel like you're coming through, right? You can see the light now. So imagine giving yourself the gift of this knowledge of this is what you need to do. Okay, just follow this path, just do this every day, or as much as you can, and you're talking to yourself. When I was writing the book, I was very much talking to myself, to be honest, and that it was so healing and just so beautiful as well. And then it happened to resonate with many people, who then asked for guidance and asked for some calls, and then basically my coaching company was born out of that. So the truth is that publishing can be very simple, ethical, structured, right? When you just follow the right steps, and obviously with someone who's there to guide you along the way as well. In my program, we've had many authors. Okay, we've had somebody who's written a beautiful, Uncharled's written a beautiful grief journal, and when her husband unexpectedly passed away, and she wrote a grief journal, and she has now actually become a coach as well. Many years after writing this book, she's now become a coach. She's an incredible mother. She's also an audiologist. She does this beautiful artwork as well as she does. I think she designed the front cover as well. There's Uncharled, there's Natasha Archer, who is a nurse and who is also a confidence coach for business women. And she created a beautiful, first of all, also a dinosaur book that she created with her son, right? All these incredible mums. And then she also created a gratitude journal. And she's got many other books coming out, I'm sure. So she's Natasha Archer. She's an incredible woman, so definitely follow her. And we have many other authors in the program as well, who are in the process of writing their book as well. Okay. So let me explain how this works. Amazon Publishing Pathway, what I teach, is 100% online, the program. But obviously I will be teaching you how to create your own ebooks, paperback, hardbacks, audiobooks as well. This is also an evolving program, okay? So although you pay the one price of $111, I also come in and extra teachings I give as well, and you will have access to that. Okay, so lifetime access. But obviously, if you wanted to upgrade to have the one-to-one session and be part of the membership as well for the whole year, then you'll have access to all these different classes of how to utilize that as well. Or the other option is you can join the membership, and then once you've been in the membership for 3 months, which is $37 per month, then you will also gain access to this program as well, but then you'll have to wait 3 months. So that's what I would suggest, is to just jump right in. Okay. Now we're going to be clarifying your book idea. Okay. And what is your message? We're going to be really writing it in a very simple, structured way. So it's not going to take hours and hours and hours. Like I told you, I wrote it and published it within a week. I wrote it in a week, and then I published it later, and thinking I could have just done this sooner. We're going to teach you how to publish on Amazon step by step. And also, if you want to do it in any other ways and set up your stand store link, etc., we'll teach you that way too. And how to position your book for actual credibility, confidence, impact, become a #1 best-selling author as well. How there's no confusion here, there's no gatekeeping, there's no pressure either, okay? And though you have support, I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you through it. You're not alone, okay? So this is ideal for you if you want to publish with a purpose, okay? Even if the purpose is for yourself. And I don't say just for yourself, because that is in itself the biggest purpose, okay? If every single person took time to really heal, empower, awaken, rise and thrive themselves, it's not selfish, it's self-full, the world would be an incredible, beautiful place. And that is my mission. Okay, one person at a time. So that's why I have this Athena Publishing media, multimedia company with, I want you to write your book, that I want you to write your podcast, and I want you to create your own kind of methodology of whatever you've been through. What do you think the steps were along your hero or heroine's journey? And then let's make it into a coaching program, and then let's get you, as a keynote speaker, all of these things which I've done too. So I'm here to show you, and I'm here to also guide you along that way with, let's be honest, all of the healing work that comes up as we go along, right? And not that we're healing forever, but I'm here to help you. Okay. I'm also doing this for myself too. Okay, including the healing work. All right. I also have times which is, dark night, soul moments too. And I have those tools to help you through that. I also used to be the regional director for mental health for the NHS. I'm a consultant family physician. So obviously I'm not your doctor for this. So disclaimer, this is purely educational, purely entertainment. I am purely doing this as your coach. But I am, of course, there to help you. Okay. And to do this in a balanced way, right? We're going to be writing our books and drinking our green smoothies and doing our yoga and our 10K steps, because I believe in balance across our health, our wealth, and our leadership. And also doing that in a balanced way for ourselves, our family, and our service, or the service you're going to create, or the service that you provide for your family, or both. Okay. So this is about building a personal brand, building a business, a real business, not some side hustle. Nothing wrong with side hustles, but I'm just saying we're really building something, a movement here, building your legacy. Okay, legacy does not just generational wealth, but we also do that. This is also generational health, generational healing, and generational leadership. It's all of it put together, which is a legacy leaders. This is if you want to build credibility without the burnout. You want clarity, but without chaos. And you want confidence. And yes, also talk about how to get the cash flow, right? So, as I mentioned, finally, the standalone investment for this program is $111, okay? And it's intentionally accessible because your voice matters. Your story matters. You can transmute the pain into purpose, okay? Not that it condones it, but you can use this now for this new chapter, okay? And I'm here to guide you through that. You're not alone, okay? You're not alone. And publishing, I just don't feel should feel like this exclusive thing to the rich and famous. It should be free. It should be available to everybody and not intimidating. And this is education and guidance. It's empowerment, right? It's not pressure. So as I said, option one is you can click the link down below and just get instant access for $111. And I will also be doing, answering all of your questions there in the group as well, and giving further education in there. Option two is you can send me a private message with the word author, AUTHOR, author. If you just want to have more information, you want to have a bit more of a discussion in there, just about more information, that's totally fine. Here to help you understand if you have questions. And if you're already inside VIP Legacy Leader membership, which is the annual membership, then this is going to be included for you, as well as a whole private coaching one-to-one day. Okay, so we can really go deep into whatever it is you want. And with that, you also get your whole plan written out for you. You get a healing or a bespoke healing audio. I mean, it's very bespoke to what you want. So I want to say thank you so much for being here. I send you so much love and light. I really want to honor your voice. I want to honor the journey that you've been on. I'm here to help you. Okay, and your voice is being asked to be heard. There are people who need to hear your story, how you made it out, how you made it through the darkness, and how it is that you got to where you are. And you're also your lower self. They are asking you to now get this out there. Okay, it's very healing for yourself too. Sending you so much love and light, and I'll see you inside. Thank you.